water, my friend.
All right, so we're going to be going over the darts from side control, transitioning into knee on belly, and getting into that position. All right, so Chris, perfect. All right, so again here, my knees are connected to my partner. I'm looking to establish a side control and lock my head and arm, in. Okay. Again, out of habit, I always like to separate. I always like to isolate that arm, that inside frame. So I like to cup, release my left hand, lean forward, sit through, grab that tricep, and from here, once I grab that tricep, I reverse back into position, hide my elbow, and lock into a nice solid side control. All right. Now let's say I'm in this position and I've tried my options and my options are not working. All right. My partner's very good. He's not affected by any of my attempts. So from here, anytime I get stuck in side control, I like to transition to knee on belly. All right. So that's my alternative. All right. So from here, I'm going to open up my palm to palm and place my palm on the hip. All right. Common mistake of what people do is that they place their hands on the mat. Okay, and what that does is it really doesn't do anything. Okay, I'm not pinning my partner down. He's able to move. I can't feel him, and I'm kind of lost. Okay, so it's super important. Once we're here, I release. I make a connection. Find the hip bone. My palm is right over it, and my fingers on the outside. Release my left hand. My palm is on the shoulder, and my fingers are on the outside. Okay, from here, as I pop up, I'm going to look to enter my knee on belly. All right, 3 points of contact. 1, 2, and 3. My left leg is a kickstand. Okay, so it's not knee down, not this knee down is not here. It's a kickstand. All right, my knee is slightly up and my foot is on the mat. Okay, so with this back leg or this with this kickstand, I'm able to add pressure or take away pressure. Okay, it's going to be all up to you and what you want to do and what you want to accomplish. Okay, but for this darts, we're going to be adding a lot of pressure. Okay, once I start adding pressure, I'm leaning into my partner. Okay, I'm looking for a reaction. Action, reaction. My partner starts to push off my knee. Okay, the way I look at this is like energy, right? He's using energy to push my knee off, and now I'm going to use that energy against him. Okay, so once I'm here, I feel him pushing off. That's my cue to go. That's my trigger. Okay, left hand, the hand that's on the shoulder, palm down, and you're going to establish a nice grip. Okay, so this is just a pulling mechanism. I'm just pulling his arm across. Okay, once I'm ready here, I'm going to release the pressure off and use his weight and use his energy against him. So as he pushes, I release and I pull. Okay, after I release and pull, my right hand is going to thread underneath, and I can use this grip here to kind of pull and bring it underneath my hips here, okay, in between my legs. My right hand, I'm going to shoot it through, so I can drop my base, get nice and low, and establish a grip here or a clinch. Once I establish a clinch, I'm going to replace my hand with my chest on the tricep, and now I can release. Okay, let's turn this way, Chris. Perfect. Okay, so super important, keep your chest glued to the tricep. You could bring one knee down, you could be on your toes live, but as long as you're pushing into your partner, okay? Once you start to release pressure, he's gonna look ways to get out, right? And now my technique is gone, okay? So it's super important that your chest is over the tricep, you're blocking that elbow, you don't want the elbow to come back or to fall, to get out of position, okay? Once I'm here, my left elbow, I'm looking to connect it to the back of my partner's head and drive his chin down towards his chest here, okay? I can also, first thing I can do is I can lift the head as far as I can, okay? And now I can bring my elbow and drive the chin to the chest here, okay? Open up my palm, I'm ready to catch my tricep. So from here, I'm going to karate chop, grab the back of my tricep, and then I'm going to start to crawl my fingers up. As I do that, I'm also closing my elbow in. Okay? So once I'm here, as I'm crawling up, I'm closing my elbow in for the finish. All right, so we'll go back to that. Palm on the hip, palm on the shoulder. I pop up, knee on belly. Keep this leg far out. If I keep this leg close, you might be able to attack it, grab it, and start messing with it. So to avoid that, keep it a little bit far out of his range. And how do we measure that? So if Chris tries to reach for it, keep it out of range. All right? Back here again, we're gonna add pressure. Hand ups on the shoulder, you're gonna grab the wrist. As you feel the energy pushing against your knee, you're just gonna relax, release, and pull. As I pull, I step over, I clinch, and I drive into my partner, and I connect my chest to the tricep. Okay? I'm gonna lift the side of the neck first, drive my hand through, and give myself a thumbs up here, and clinch. Okay? My left elbow, I'm gonna drive it down, connecting his chin, his chest here, open up my palm, and now, super important is that I give myself a thumbs up. Why? To use that blade of my wrist. Okay, that's gonna be my edge. All right, so keep that blade activated. So once I pull, I connect to the chin to the chest, thumbs up, and I lock. Okay, from here I'm gonna start to crawl as I close my elbow for the finish. All right, thank you, Chris. So that's our DARS from side control, getting into knee on belly, and then looking for different variations to finish. All right, drill it on 2, 1, 2.
Water, my friend.